On July 24th, the 2023 National Oregon-California Trails Association Convention kicked off in Gering and will be here until July 29th.
So this is our 41st annual convention. Every year we have a convention in a different part of the country along the Oregon and California Trail, which stretches from the Missouri River to the West Coast. We have 11 chapters in that same geographic region. We're here for the better part of a week, and we pretty much use the same formula every year. A couple of days of very knowledgeable speakers about the local history on the trails, and a couple of days of tours where we take people out on guided bus tours to the historic sites along the trail. This area is rich in lots of remaining historic sites, especially the landmarks, places like Courthouse and Gel Rock, Chimney Rock, Scottsbluff, Fort Laramie, the Guernsey Ruts. Those are all very easily accessible from here. Lots of immigrant graves along the way. The valley itself, the North Platte River Valley, that was the major highway to get to the west. So that's why our people come from really all over the country, and in some cases from around the world, to come and hear and learn. We also do other fun activities. There's usually music, other kinds of entertainment. There's an awards banquet. There's an author's night that's tonight. This week we're also showing a couple of short documentaries at the Midwest Theater. The public, of course, is invited to all of those things. One of them is a movie that we produced called On the California Trail, Preserving Gravelly Ford. It is a documentary about a section of trail that we worked with Nevada Gold Mines to put a conservation easement on to forever preserve the trail. It's an amazing piece through the Nevada desert that you can see the two-track perfectly as if the wagons just went through the other day. So it's a pretty long but very intricate week of exploration and learning and fun.
It's a very active group. It's very exciting to meet so many people that have such an interest in the history of the trails. And of course, right now we're talking about so many of the other trails in the United States, but mostly it's right now we concentrate on the Oregon, California Pony Express trails that ran right through this area.
And the Mormon Trail as well. And that's part of the main emphasis of the Oregon California Trail group is preservation and continuation of telling the story of the history of this part of the United States. The Pony Express Trail goes through here. It's pretty important because once a year you can still mail a letter on the Pony Express, and it'll be carried in the saddlebag on a horse from Sacramento to St. Joe. Next year it'll go St. Joe to Sacramento on the Pony Express National Historic Trail. It's also a different organization, but it's very similar to the OCTA.
The Mormon Trail went through, the Mormon Pioneer Trail is 1846 to 1847. It came through this area on the north side of the river, except for 1 year in 1850 when they came through on the south side and went through Mitchell Pass. For one reason or another, primarily cholera epidemic, decided to go back to the north side, so they were on the north side for the rest of history as far as they're concerned, the trail is concerned.
And as a reporter, that's why I think we're telling this story. I didn't know this, but I come to these meetings to find out information. Some of it I care about, some of it's just fun to find out about.
Exactly.
Normally our conventions are 2 days of speakers and and then 2 days of bus tours.
And local attractions.
Of what we have. Locally we put them on a bus and show them the sites, and we have really good ones here. They like coming here.
That's the really neat thing about the North Platte River Valley. When they descended down into Ash Hollow, the scenery just abruptly changed from flat terrain. All of a sudden there was a Chimney Rock, Courthouse Jailhouse Rock, Bluff Ruins. Several, they were just in awe, just the spectacular scenery they could see along the trail. Mm-hmm. Every day was an adventure because they could look ahead and see it.
And they didn't have to stop and ask directions because there was Chimney Rock. Yeah. And there was Scottsbluff.
One of the nice things about these annual conventions is over the years, as you go to different conventions, you've actually been to every spot along the trail, or most every spot along the trail. And I find that interesting, just kind of putting things together when you're reading diaries and stories of the immigrants who came through. You know what they're talking about. You can visualize it yourself. So that's one wonderful aspect of these conventions.